Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's study session. We'll continue working on our range interaction, and today we're going to work from the other side of what we did last week. Last week we did the button versus the cutoff. Today we're going to play out of position as the cutoff against the button. So we will take a look at some of our construction here and see how we're going to start playing different flops based on their texture. So as you can see, checking is going to be very prevalent on this specific board, Jack 5-2. But when we look at our reports across all flops, we can see that we are approximately 25% of the time going to have some type of a bet. And we're going to break it down a little bit. And see, all of a sudden, we're spiking at this spot here, 9 boards. We're going to take a look at the ranges and see why 9s and 8s are boards that we're going to have a lot of leads from out of position on here. When we take a look through these boards here, you can see Queen 9-9, all of a sudden we have a little spike. King 9-9, all of a sudden we have a little spike. So it's the effect of this 9 that has these aberrations in kind of the strategy. And we're going to look at why, because it's important to understand the why, because if our opponent isn't playing ranges in a way that's going to allow us to do this, raising these and attacking these boards specifically is not going to be great. So when we look at the range nature, we can see why we're attacking boards with 9s. It's primarily because of this line here. We are opening offsuit 9s at full frequency across all 5 of these nodes. And so that's 60 hands here. Our opponent is folding, 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 and only partially opening ace-9. And then when you factor in the fact that they are going to have some 3 bets with part of their range that contains a 9, they're going to lack full frequency of some of these combos here, whereas we open them with full frequency here and here.
So we should have a lot more trips.
So in this spot, when we change this board from Jack 5-2 to 9-5-2, top pairs, we have about 50% more top pairs. And that's why this 9 board is something that's really that's really good for us. As well, they're 3-betting some of the 8 combos. We have full frequency of all the suited 8s. So so on an 8-high board, again, we can just take a little shift. And we can take a look at this spot too. And so on 8-5-2, a pair, you can see it's much more competitive. Even though we have more combos of it, their range has less combos in general. So this is about an equal proportion of the range. So even though we have more combos in here, it's competitive with them, which the 9 isn't, right? The 9 is that key element for us. So if you're in a spot where you open in the cutoff and your opponent defends a little too wide and is defending some of these offsuit 9s, you don't really have this advantage to take an aggressive lead on this specific card. But even in neutral spots where we have roughly the same proportion of them, you can see that this is a board that we do lead a little more often. So let's take a look back at the reports and we'll filter them. So on monotone boards, again, not a whole heck of a lot to do here. There is a little bit of leading on 9 high and lower boards, and it is leading small or very small. More frequent as the boards get more and more connected. So 10, 9, 7, you do it a little bit more than disconnected boards, right? Because you will have some straight equity hands as well that have some combo ability. But generally not a big thing on monotone boards. So again, if you're not sure, check it out. On flush draw boards, here we're going to start noticing a few more interesting things. With an ace and another high card, we have some polarized betting. So betting half pot or bigger throughout the ace. Again, we have our 9, which wants to bet frequent and small. And then some small betting on ace with lower cards. Again, king with another connected Broadway card. We are betting less than 25% of the time, but when we do bet, it is largely polarized. So we see that again throughout the kings, up to king 9, king 8 and lower. It is small betting. Queen connected, some polar betting. Queen 8 and lower, just some range betting. Jack 10, very polar betting. Jack 6, Jack 5, Jack 4, very small situations where we're betting very small in sizing. So our 9 board, we size down our sizing and size up our frequency, increase our frequency. There is some polar betting in there too, but lots more small bets. And then on smaller boards, mostly checking, some smaller bets, some bigger bets. So there is a strategy that's going to have us betting big from out of position infrequently here. When we look at rainbow boards, you can see that our general frequency of betting is going up, getting closer to 50%. Why? Because our opponent flats lots of suited hands and folds lots of offsuit hands, folds more offsuit hands. So when the board is a rainbow, they're going to have less continues because they're going to have flopped a flush draw less off. So we do a little more betting on rainbow textured boards. Again, as cards get closer and closer together, we tend to do a little more betting. So few faces, again, a little bit more polarization, but a lot less in general. A little more small betting and medium betting throughout. So 55, the smaller sizes become more prominent here. So interesting to note. Rainbow, a lot more betting, more medium size betting. With a flush draw, very polar, monotone, very infrequent, very small. And then we'll take a look briefly at the paired boards and get into doing some sit work. So our paired boards are infrequent and large when we are betting them. We're betting our 9s and 8s a lot. And paired broadways, not so much. And even pairs with a Broadway, not so much. Right? So, yeah. You can pop in here and so our first hand, we raise kings and we get Jack 5-2. So there is a flush draw. We have the king of spades.
We've got tons of equity here. Can we, are we, I think this is a really nice check raise spot.
We unblock top pair, we unblock his bets. So Are we more likely to check raise with the spade or without the spade?
I guess with the spade, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I'm not sure. I mean, I think we're actually less with the spade because we have additional equity. But it's
Okay.
just really fun to check raise.
We'll take a look and we'll study the spot here. Perfect.
Yeah,
Our
so
opponent-
like now we get to go like 4 or 6. I like a 4
think-
because we have so much equity
Check. Mm,
and we're not very deep.
Okay.
I mean, we really don't want him to fold. So I like a 4. A B33 in this case.
Let's
I
take a
would
look
bet
at,
a small. Check raise is fun, but check raise is too strong and they may fold top pair.
I like 4.
yeah, it is going 4, but primarily 6. Your best value hands, kings, queens, and aces, want to put it in. Look at this flatting with aces like a monster.
Actually, a 4 is pretty small, isn't it?
Is the
Yeah.
check
We're out
the
of
primary?
position.
Is the check primary action on us? Can you see the cutoff?
Yeah, I was checking like everything.
Jack 5-2, 94% checks. But
Okay.
if you are gonna bet, this is the hand that wants to do it. And the size
It's pretty
is a
big.
little bit 33, a little bit 55, and a little bit 83.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Yeah, but check, yeah, okay, check is,
yeah. The
Okay.
3 hands that kind of want to do it, ace, jack, kings, and queens. Right? So, and I
sounds
mean,
good.
you have bluffs with you have bluffs around here, right? With your wheel draws. So you can do king 3 and king 4
Right,
with the backdoor spades or front door spades, backdoor hearts can do this. Ace deuce, right? So it turns bottom pair into a bluff here, which is why you do it with sets of deuce, fives. So yeah, not a lot of leading here. So in this spot, we're not leading very much. And we are going to play a very heavy check raise strategy. So
It likes the
having a
big size, huh?
he likes the big size.
yeah, when we look at it here, when we have a spade, it has more of the smaller size. When we don't have a spade, it wants to use more of the bigger size
Oh, okay,
because the spade makes us more resilient, right? Like even if a
Yeah,
spade
sure.
turns, we don't care as much, so it can
Well,
raise smaller and keep more stuff in.
Yeah, and they're very similar EV, I guess.
Yep. So either way, not a huge variation. So just happy to check raise. Either size is just fine here. And we check raise.
I think that's a neutral card. I think we can, I mean, now we're thinking about getting it in, right? So, so 5, it's 5s, 10s, 26. So if we bet 5, we can easily get it in on river.
9
I like 8
18.
or 9, I wish they had the 8.
or
like
13.
9, I like 9.
Double flush draw. Danny wants to go all the way.
We are blocking one of the flush draws, which is nice.
I do kind of like this size here. Like this size would still, like it's gonna put 18, it's gonna be 34 in there.
Yeah,
We're gonna
for
have
the,
25
for the
behind.
jam on the river.
Sometimes we front load on boards like this, right?
We do sides up on double flush draw boards.
Because there
I
are
don't
gonna
know
be
if
some
this
spots
does.
where we're just gonna have to shut down, right? Like on the 10 of hearts here, that's a shutdown card.
I think I have everything, yeah, everything is fine.
Small
9 is
really.
EV.
Can't go wrong with 9.
yeah,
That's not a card we're gonna shut down on though.
that's the card. That's the card that we're gonna put it in.
Show us the 5s. Nope.
Sure, it's the 5s.
Oh, look at him turn that boat of equity.
Ooh,
All right. Hey, this day's going good. All right. Lush draw connected. but incomplete equity. So there's no flopped straight here, but lots of draws.
Yeah, so I think the thing to take away from this is that we've got equity, but he probably has an equity advantage, so I think we check.
It's almost same as the last flop, just it was jack five, no, jack five, it's never mind. Yeah,
Ooh,
check.
little bit of savage leading here.
Alright, we get to check raise some.
You're check raising this hand.
I've become obsessed with check raising.
That's good.
Call or fold? I don't know.
Call. I no, two overs, I think it's a call.
Too good to fold, right?
Too
Feels
good
bad
to
though.
fold.
I would say it's too bad to call, and so we check raise
I,
to
I-
6.
Honestly, maybe, but I think we need we wanna
maybe,
really have a spade.
yeah, I
It's
think
a
Build a
stretch.
pot, we want a
It's a,
spade, cause
it's a,
then
we've got a backdoor straight. We've got the nuts.
90% call, 10% check raise. That's what I feel.
So I have a question for Larry here. If we check raise to 6, he's got to put in 4 more chips to call. If he has some interaction in here, is he gonna fold?
No, and it's very easy for him to have interaction on this board. You have a
Yeah.
Very good point.
So I mean,
You have a very good
Also
point.
can we
another
just muck
thing.
it?
I
No.
Yeah,
don't think it's a fold.
And also solver's gonna properly call or population will overflow to a check raise.
Exploit maybe a population,
Yeah.
we can fold.
like when we think of defending our range here, right? We're gonna defend all the cards that have a jack. We're gonna defend all the cards that have an 8. So we have a lot of pairs that we get to call here. And then when we look at non-paired hands, we have some 6s as well. When we look at non-paired hands, we're going to be defending or queen 10 with a spade, queen 9 with a spade, 10-9, 10-7, 9-7. I think we just have enough unpaired hands, all kinds of spades and all kinds of hearts. This is just going to be a fold. But we'll take a peek.
Yeah, you might be right. It's such a small sizing though.
I'm not folding.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's say
It's very little
it's
EP. It's just,
close.
it's a small sizing. We have 2 pairs and we have a
Yeah.
backdoor.
You have two overs.
2 overs rather, and we have a backdoor.
Okay, I gotta take a look here because what about okay, it's starting to fold ace queen. It doesn't give up on ace king yet, but it's pretty thin. Right?
Even I think ace queen is it. Yeah,
Ace 10 and ace 9 are starting to fold too. So yeah, you can call here. This is a good call. A very minuscule blunder if you are folding this hand, but again, very slow EV that you're printing. So,
Game of edges.
all right, so bottom card pairs, do we lead?
It's a good question. We could lead in big blind, but we don't have that wide a range, so I don't think we do.
Our hand improved, but it's still marginal. Like nothing's really changed. I think we're still in check call mode.
check call.
I'm more likely to call now the turn where I was maybe more likely to fold if our opponent continued, but now I'm a little more likely to call.
Depends on the size, by the way.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how far we take it. We have an okay bluff catcher.
Little
Do
bit of
get some
lead.
leads.
But if you don't find the lead, not a big deal. It's not a big part of the strategy here for ace king, but let's take a look overall.
Yeah, can you click on just the leads so we can see where they come from?
Oh
We
yeah,
got quite a bit in our range.
30% leading here.
I'm surprised we have that much.
Bottom card pairs, it's a good spot because we check raise a lot of jacks and we call with a lot of 8s and 6s.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
So
Can you just,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
you can see in our range here, we have all of these 6s. Remember, we're opening suited sixes on the cutoff. And our opponent, when we take a look at ranges, and we have trips, we have 8.5% of our range is trips here, 2% of their range is trips.
Yeah,
So
got it.
there's a really big equity swing here. So all of a sudden, our range is the favorite when this card turns.
So if you go back to like, cutoff check and look at ranges.
Yep.
Will like, if you go back to just after the flop. And that one, yeah. And then you look at ranges. Who has the equity advantage at that point? Thank you, sir. Yeah, so in position has the equity advantage. So that is an important thing for me to see, at least, to know that in this betting pattern.
Yeah.
And then that repeats 6, it's an equity shifting card.
And so on that equity shifting card, and I thought we would have some leads, but of course, ace king is still thinking it can show down here, so it checks. Right, but like you look at the other ones, like ace jack, it wants to bet now, right? Ace 8, or sorry, ace 7, it wants to bluff here now. So, yeah, just a lot of
interesting.
small leads here. The other thing that leading small does is because our range is protected by all these trips, our opponent doesn't get to polarize the turn very well. So, because when we check, our opponent's strategy is going
It's
to be
polarized.
bomb the pot, right?
I check polarized, yeah.
55% check, 36%, they're betting 83% pot. So in a way, we get to keep more of our range in the hand by betting this small amount, because when we bet the small amount, our opponent has some raises, but has a lot of calls now, and we generate a little bit of folding too. Right, so all of our stuff that benefits from immediate folds, like a7, get to realize 17% of the time they're just going to win this pot with a hand that really has no business in here.
And we just lead out so small.
I think we lead out small because we're setting up a polarizing bet on river.
Okay.
So we check, and our opponent checks. Ace king.
That's not a good card.
Not a good card. Is this just a give up?
I personally, check here.
Like it. So check, lose the pocket force.
Yeah.
And you could see there if we had led and then
Yeah, he-
big
and
bet
then-
river, we would have won.
yeah.
So yeah, we bet turn, we bet river, and we win that hand, right? It's gonna be really hard for him to call with force. So get raised, we get called. Jack 8-8, paired 8 board. Flush draw.
Oh, easy continue on this one.
Yeah, I think we
Right, so-
check.
Right.
Check
Think
with
you're
the
gonna
intent to
see-
check raise.
Ooh, spicy.
Larry is check raising today, hard.
He
Yeah,
is.
man.
All right. So I'm gonna say 30% leads, mostly small, a little bit
I'm
medium,
not-
and a lot of
I
check.
go,
Oh,
I
the
bet
ace that we like
1
leading
point-
this board?
I go 1.4.
I don't wanna lead. I wanna check raise.
If we bet,
Wanna-
it's big. It's 3.9.
I'm getting Viv into the check raise cult.
Danny, you've got it.
Okay.
There is some leading small, and there is some leading medium and check raising. So the paired board drives up our, like, the paired 8 is good for us. It drives up our frequency of leading here, but it drives down our size away from the bigger sizes, because 8 is still a pretty prevalent part of our in positions range too.
Also, villain doesn't have any offsuit eights.
No. And
So-
they're mixing their suited eights, right, with three bets,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Suited clubs and diamonds now, right? Okay.
Alright,
Okay, he's on
check.
to us. I think we get to go big here. For value. And also, yeah, I think we get to do some B55, maybe even B83 here.
So we check,
Kind of
right?
making up for misvalue on
Okay.
flop.
Yeah, delayed C bet big.
Yeah, I think this is a delayed, yeah, but I think we
Yeah, I
go big.
like 83 here.
I like 5.9, yeah.
I'm curious what it'll do.
I'm going for, yeah, 83 also.
Um,
And this,
yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna be in
Hmm.
here a lot and in here a little, but we'll take a peek. I mean, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of this yet.
I don't think we're deep enough for much of it.
Yeah, it's just betting
You're-
all the sizes,
right.
most prominently this.
I'm surprised there's a
Still-
high checking frequency. Is that, can we call that a trap? Can we call it with the ability to hit the nuts? Well, it won't be the nuts because it's a paired board, but
Let's take a peek see and see if we're check raising ace jack when we check it. here. That
Maybe
would be
against
very-
2 checks, they go a little polar sometimes and it's
yeah,
a good hand to call down with.
yeah.
We
maybe.
check.
It's an inducing check.
Our
Yeah.
opponent has lots of small bets. So when they take the small bet size. Our ace jack wants to check raise a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
with that
don't-
ace of spades.
Yeah, when we
'Cause they
don't
go
have a
small,
spade,
yeah.
we call a lot.
See, the solver thinks check raising is fun too.
I think we'll have to title this video, check raising is fun.
You're welcome to.
So we did give it the bets. We get this very bricky river.
Does he have, so he only has 4 combos of 7-6 suited, which would have gotten here, I think, because we checked.
uh-huh,
So, but I still think we got the value right here.
okay. How big?
Um,
I mean. Straights in the house, the flush is in the house, the trips are in the house.
It's
Is
nice
this
flunking the
downgraded
nut
to a
flush.
marginal made hand?
check call.
I'm convinced Saeed.
You convinced me easily.
I think we
No
get to
way, we
I
bomb
get
it.
to B57 here. Is that, because B57 will allow us to fold to a shove.
You're planning
I
on
don't
betting
wanna
nine
fold.
chips and folding?
I don't wanna
Yeah.
fold.
That's
I'm
probably. a
wondering
pretty
why-
if
good
it's like, is it too greedy? And I think it is to go all in here. But I think that's too greedy.
No.
I think this board is a little too wet.
think-
12 might be the sweet spot.
Yeah, I think if I have the trip eights, do I wanna get greedy here? I think trip eights can get pretty greedy.
Yeah, triple eights are,
Only hand that we can get value is another jack. Hmm.
It is going pretty greedy. So you're planning on folding here to a shove. Let's hope the opponents, okay, they just call.
Wow, he called. with
heroes
ace
with
queen.
ace high. He
Heroes
must have
is-
rolled high.
I mean, on that board, like ace high, that is a thin call. Block
You may
bet
not fold to a
all of
shove
raise.
with the flush
Yeah.
blocker.
Let's take a look at exploring that. I think had a question here on the river. What about when we block bet? Do we have any block bets, first of all? So our
1.5,
strategy has some block bets.
very small.
It wants to block bet. What do we want to block bet? Some good hands. So we want to block bet some top pairs
And inducing with the full house a little bit.
and inducing with the full house. So, yeah. Some top pairs, some third pair. Okay, so blocking is a thing. And when we block, our opponent's response is going to be to blast.
Yeah,
All right, hold on to your socks, because here our opponent comes. All in. How do you like that, ace jack? You don't like it so much, but you're calling.
So we call with the flush blocker and mix
Yeah.
folds if we're unblocking flush.
hmm,
Yeah, a block bet is
Yes.
also reasonable here, but
for that reason, do we wanna do the block bet?
so mostly we wanted to go for value right there with the ace,
Yeah,
right? Smaller jacks are more inclined to do that. So like jack nine and stuff are more inclined to block.
yeah.
Here's up. I swear I don't have this set on all good hands. Oh, what a board.
So I think this smashes his range. I think he's got a big range advantage here.
Okay, you think so? All right.
I think, well,
Uh,
yeah, obviously I
Three,
could
four,
check.
five.
You know what our opponent does? He doesn't have here ace deuce of spades.
That's a very good point.
Okay, so check.
I am checking too.
A little bit of leading here, but very
This is
small.
the beginning.
Check.
Oh, what a board.
All right.
So
Boring. Next hand.
I
Is
don't
this
think
one
we get,
just-
sorry, go ahead, Peter.
No, is this one just gonna check out?
Yeah, I think we check again. My gut is that he's got a range advantage, but I don't know.
I think so too.
We'll examine that, because I'm not so sure that he does. But again,
Oh,
checking
no,
out is
it's
very reasonable.
Kinda leading out now.
So I think our range is gonna want to bet small a lot on that turn, but our hand, not quite so much.
Ace jack.
So let's take a peek at the range construction here, range interaction here. Equities are still
No, I'm off base.
really close because both opponents are still wide. No one's bet, so everyone's in here with all their trash and all their value.
And we've got more straights.
Yeah, we do have, we have a lot more sixes, so we have a lot more straights now. Right? Two pair, minutia, over pair is still us. Top pair is still us. Second pair is still us. So yeah, we just have a very slight equity advantage on all sides here. So just wants to put a little money in the pot.
Yeah,
Right?
my brain is too cooked in cash ranges.
Cash, it'll do it to you every time. All right.
Yeah.
So we got to the river, we have ace high. We do have a little range advantage here. I mean, do we turn ace jack into a bluff sometimes here? Check most of the time.
Yeah, but if we do bluff, do we polarize to be, I mean, do we polarize to B77? I mean, what are we repping with a
Is it even a
half pot bet.
bluff? It's like a weird, I
merge?
don't know. I would just check here. Check and hope he checks down some like,
There you got it. I
King
was
high.
thinking it'd be bigger. I mean, what are we repping when we bet? I guess we're repping an overpair that's trying to get value from their smaller pairs.
Yeah, we went for a
there are a
check
lot
raise.
of humans who will check down king high there and I don't
Mhm.
feel the need to, unless this is a value bet, but surely not, right?
Well, it's earning 5 chips.
From like ace 10? Like, well,
You could probably make a 3 or a 4 fold here, right? Is what it's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ace queen, ace king might fold. Ace 10, you just said it.
He's dead. I gotta take a peek at this. Alright, what's our
called.
opponent folding? He called. He called and lost. We were bluffing and we were good.
GTO is a caller station. Today he called us ace high last time.
Yeah. Okay, he doesn't fold a 3 or a 4, so it is a value bet. He does call ace 10, he does call ace 9. I
So he
mean,
doesn't
that's a-
fold any pairs, yeah.
Yeah, he calls king, queen, king, jack. My goodness,
calls-
what a station.
He calls twos.
What are we bluffing? Queen high?
I don't know, we gotta be bluffing like a maniac, right? Like, what's going on with us on this river? We betting like 100% of range here. 50%, we're checking a pile. Okay. So yeah, we're betting this size with our ace highs. We're betting smaller with our slightly worse ace highs to get more ace highs to call us. And then we're betting bigger with our worse ace highs, with our fours and threes. Wow, this is pretty crazy. And then just blasting with a pile of range.
With the 6, right?
Yeah, two pairs, over pairs, top pair, set, straight. It's all just blasting. Second pair is betting large, third pair is betting large. Low
And if you
pairs
go
betting
range
large.
height, like how much of this are we actually here with? I would imagine decent amount, yeah.
Very nice. Okay, here we go. Ace six, is this an open?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, right, partial. 30% fold, open the rest.
Good job. Right, so it's a mixed spot. This is the bottom of range for us here. Ooh, monotone board with an ace. I don't think we want to check raise this spot.
No, but we do check.
So. This is a spot we,
I
how
get in trouble
frequently are
here
we?
doing so much check calls and then check fuck.
How much
Check.
leading are we doing here? Are you guys leading this hand ever?
So. So we just looked at the aggro points from monotone boards.
Hmm.
And I recall a lot of checking.
Yep.
So I think,
So-
and I think we've got a made hand with, that doesn't need, it doesn't need protection. Maybe it doesn't, but against flush draws, but they're never folding. So I think we check.
So it's not a value bet here. My fingers are itching.
You know, I don't think we get to the value bet. I think we check.
I
Alright.
am betting. No, I'm not betting.
It's itching, but it's only itching a tiny, tiny bit.
Fine.
Alright. Well, now we'll go check, check. Surely we must be betting. My whole arm's itching.
Yeah, yeah. But I think we do, if, I think a delayed C bets are sometimes bigger, so I think we. Even though there's locked up equity, which we are blocking it, so I think we might go B55. But maybe the locked up equity will drive down the sizing.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So I think I'm here. I'm itching in these two here. Oh my goodness.
Checking
want-
again.
Checking again. Alright.
Vivian was saying check fuck, check fuck.
We can't value bet, we gotta check and see where the sizing.
Now we have to check a 6 high flush.
You got a small bet, small bet.
Well, small bet, but then how do we react to a raise?
You could even bet 3.5, maybe.
I think this is a check and then
I
assess
think
his
this is a
sizing.
check.
So I think we can still get value from a guy who rivered trip fives. I'm betting a chip.
You could get
Alright.
more though. Yeah, baby.
Okay. Yeah, get greedy.
And from ace jack of hearts, who's a non-believer.
Hey, folding queen eight.
Saying also you can induce bluffs, but they're probably not on the 4 to flush board.
Look
Yeah,
at
the
this
bad
guy.
thing about what if we bet a small and he piles, then what?
Then we've
Probably
only
just
bet
fold.
Small. Yeah.
Yeah,
typically
so.
fold.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we're still protected by having lots of nut hands there, so.
He defined his hand, yeah. It's fine.
Oh. king high connected, flush draw, locked up equity with the straight flopped. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we totally miss. Check.
Pretty clear check spot. I don't think we're defending this board very often.
Now we
Oh,
got
but
a
look,
little equity. I don't think we get to, I don't think we get to, well, maybe we do get to build a flush or, I mean, a bluff around our gut shot. And if we do, it's like a B33 and then bomb river.
bombing river, this board. Okay. I'm checking back here a lot, but I mean, we can definitely get some better to fold when we bet here.
Nope.
But that's smaller. That's a
Mainly
little bit-
check.
Mainly check. But I mean. Okay.
I think that card is good for bluffing because it reduces his combos of king X. So maybe like a
But the flush got there.
B6. That's a very good point.
What?
Alright, maybe we give up.
So high frequency give up, low frequency 8.5.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah,
Very low frequency 8.5, but not so givey up as you would think. Right? So-
oh yeah.
and he just calls us with a jack 10.
With a counterfeited 2 pair. He calls us with his 3 pair.
On a
Three
four
pair.
liner with a flush and a paired king. Man, this guy's a station. I don't know that we're getting this guy off anything tonight. All right, raise it up. Paired ace board.
So I think we're on capped with all the aces. He 3-bets all his aces.
Mhm.
I wonder if we can bluff this.
I think this is a check. And maybe a
Probably is a
check,
check.
maybe a check raise that you like.
I think we need some
Oh.
backdoor equity.
Easy check
Check.
fold.
Wow, I mean, look at this disrespectful size.
Nick, he
Oh,
said.
well, we have
easy check.
diamonds and the board it's some spade, no diamonds, like there was a glitch. So that's what Nick was saying, that there was a glitch in the matrix. There was not even a diamond on the board. Where's the diamond?
All right.
What we're
Oh.
supposed to call, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
It's mixing.
I guess it's because it's so
Fold's just-
small. It's so small that if we hit a king, we might still be good. Like we're just waiting for them, or we can maybe bluff them off if they're doing the one
check
time.
raise the queen then.
No, we're not. Oh, I actually think that like I'm getting soaked in online poker since Vegas. I went on a crazy upswing before Vegas, and then after Vegas, I'm getting wrecked in online.
You're
but-
ruined for live.
No, I love live poker because you can just ask questions and raise people's asses for no reason if you want to.
Lovely. All right, so we flop a queen jack disconnected with a flush draw. Check or wager.
I would just check. There's no reason, we don't want to blow the pot with the marginal hand, but we want to just let them put money in if they want to.
I think we'll bet this like 20% of the time, but mostly check.
Okay, are we gonna venture into the purple territory with our wager?
Not with this hand.
That's a small.
Alright. I like a
No,
lot of checks. Yep.
check
doesn't-
call.
But
Oh,
let's take a
check,
look at
check.
what does bet there. So queen, jack, deuce. So there's gonna be lots of straight draws around that queen, jack.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of bombing it with aces and kings, ace, queen. But queen nine is just too far down the line. For us here. We're the same idea. Kings and aces and ace queen has some polarized betting here. But queen nine is just way too far down the line.
It's like a range check. However, on this turn, I do think this hand's gonna bomb it. I'm torn between 5.9 and 8.9.
Between 3.9 and 5.9.
So we'll go with 5.9, seems to be the common ground. Yep. Ooh, a little spicy. Wants to go top shelf over the top here. I think there's
he's
gonna be
just-
a lot of rivers that are gonna be hard for us to bet. So
Yeah, he's just capped on a dynamic board and we'll still have a lot of good hands, so.
checking probably to check raise here with this high in equity now.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like,
like
that's
with
hard-
A's.
hard
This
for
is
us to
this is
bet.
where you're playing poker and you're like, this is some bull. Actually, we can just check and hope they.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
chopping
know.
with all the queens and lose to ace
I wonder if we get
Yeah.
blocker sizing here.
and
Yeah, I was
flush.
wondering the same thing. I think we wanna have a spade to block though, like queen I know with a spade. I think I lean towards checking.
Yep.
Yeah. Check calling, right?
It
Okay,
just checks back to jack, so it's fine. We got one big street of value. It's pretty good. Ooh, paired king board with a queen. And a flush draw. Very wet.
Yeah, we check mostly.
yeah.
Little bit of lead.
I don't
Easy
see,
call.
I don't think there's any reason we check raise here.
What do you do with queen 10 with the 10 of spades?
That, it's got some check raise in it. Also, yeah, I could see queen 10, 10 of spades. We definitely have some check raise.
What do you do with ace queen of diamonds?
Call.
Ace, queen of diamonds, I think probably is not a check raise.
They compete. This
Um,
is also a very small size. If we are gonna check raise, right?
Yeah,
we're
I think,
checking here.
yeah, I think this hand's gonna call, but I think our better queens with more like ace queen and like queen with a spade are gonna mix check raises.
Let's look at the ace queen of diamond.
So our second pairs are mostly just calling here.
We do have to balance all the raising we're doing with the king X, right? So where do those bluffs come from?
Yeah.
Well, they come
Jack
from
9,
open-ended
10,
straight
9.
draws.
Yeah,
And the
So
flush
it's all the-
draws. Yeah,
Right? Naked jacks and naked tens. Right? Like,
Got
ooh,
shot, right?
and also ace king, which obviously, no, never mind.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so jack
ace
nine,
ace 10.
with the spade, yeah.
Yeah, these are the hands that Nick was really kind of looking at, right? Is
Yeah.
if you have the 10 of spades, you can turn it into a bluff here sometimes with ace 10. So ours is
Yeah,
just
I
a
was wrong on
little too far down the line.
yeah, I was wrong on the value portion though.
Yeah, I mean, we just have so many kings. Ooh. Okay,
But we'll have leads on this card. I don't think his hand wants to though.
yeah.
I think it's a check call again.
Check.
Now,
Just
I don't-
check.
I don't know, I don't think we get value bets on a pair board.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
still, our aces will value bet now. And we'll still have some king X even. We're just too far down in our range here.
Yeah, the whole thing is if we bet, what's gonna call us that we don't, like, it's a chopping queen, right? So
Yeah,
we have
Good
to
point.
get someone to call us with pocket tens here to get value. So
yeah,
Well, we block pocket tens. What is this?
yeah, exactly.
What? It
One
wants us
big
to bet
blind.
one big blind, like just basically saying like, hey,
That's savage.
don't even bet.
Oh, can it
Don't
get you
bet
off a
on me.
chop?
I think it's so we can bluff at it.
No one's folding a queen there or anything better, but
I think we're just betting one a ton, like range betting one.
A lot of bet ones. And our opponent doesn't fold anything better. So it's not really.
Yeah, it's just so we can bluff with our
but then they
garbage.
can call. Look, they're calling. They're supposed to call with 5s and 6s and 7s and 8s and 9s. If you bet one big blind, they're supposed to just be like, "Fuck you! I can't believe that
That's
you bet
jacks.
one big blind here."
You're disrespectful bet.
Yeah. Actually, in live, that works a lot.
Oh,
I mean, actually, technically, they can call and see what you had that you're betting
Yes,
one
and
big
that's what I'm
blind.
saying. At live, it works a lot. I've done it and it worked.
alright, is this just a fold?
This might low frequency jam. We don't have a spade. We block the straight. We block full houses. He doesn't have ace king in range.
I don't know if I've bet like one big blind in a live tournament like, I don't know if that I've done that, but I've used bigger bets in live because you're generally
This is-
deeper.
Huh?
But-
I don't know. It's
Qualities
big
give us a check shove here. We're blocking the straight, we're blocking the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice,
But yeah, smaller bets you're not supposed
Nice
to
to
fold
find that.
to.
and we're
Yeah, these are
unblocking the
the-
busted flush draws.
And he folded
that's-
the ace.
Yeah.
Population won't fold the ace. Guaranteed.
It might.
I don't know.
Like,
Not
I'm
that
folding an
I-
ace there.
Yeah,
I'm
it
folding
might.
an ace there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think population sees a lot of kings there and just lets it go.
There's like, you have a king.
Yeah, it's like you get check jammed on the river. It's like that bluff is not really intuitive. You kind of have to know what to look for, right? Like,
Right, right.
And really valuable to that process was what Nick did, guys. He went through and he said, okay, my opponent doesn't have ace king here. They don't have that full house, right? We don't have any spades blocking the spades, so our opponent can have spades. We block the value by having a 10 in our hand, which blocks the straight. And if we had a straight, we would jam here. If we had trip kings, we would jam here. So yeah, really,
Yeah,
really well
nice.
thought out finding of that bluff, Nick. That is really good. And that's the
Yeah.
difference, guys. When you're able to steal that type of pot and pick up 15 chips, later on in the tournament, when you run your kings into aces and you lose, 40 bigs, you still have 15 bigs and you're still in the tournament.
Buffer
right there
chips. That's what Nancy would call
how-
them, buffer chips.
Yeah, Nick has
Buffer
just shown
chips.
you guys how to win poker tournaments.
Yeah,
You
very
need-
well done.
There's so many people that just want to like wait and sit around with a small stack. And you can't. And that's why, like, when you pick up those pick up those 3 or 4 big blinds by rejamming, when you steal raise and take like 5 pots or double barrel the turn and just get like 6 or 7 big blinds. And you do that 3 times, that's 21 big blinds.
This feels like a really good check raise candidate.
Oh yeah, I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
It does
I
have a
wonder
fair
if-
amount of bleeding here.
I think I'm check calling too much in these spots, but I think check raising seems cool.
Yeah, like 6 or 8. I think it's 6. Maybe 8, maybe,
Saying-
I don't know if do we get to go 8
Ah,
at this
the-
stack
Now
depth?
he bet, yeah.
Yeah, let's go 8. Might be too big though.
So, are we gonna have a lot of double barrels here? Like, are we gonna have a lot of turns that we bet as
Yeah,
well,
it's-
or are we gonna have to give up a lot?
Well, because it's got a front door and a back door, I think there's a lot of cards that allow us to barrel.
So it is check raising. calling
Mainly
a lot.
call.
EV's all pretty close. So, okay. As played, CA is 9. Ooh,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
fold
hard.
It's
It's gonna be a hard card to double barrel though.
That's true. That would have been a tough one.
The
Ooh.
rebets. Ooh, we haven't seen much of this yet today. We'll do one.
Yeah.
Fun. All right. Who is calling here? Who is folding here? One at a time. Fire it off.
Good job.
Dean, what are you doing? I'm gonna call. I can call.
One and
I
one,
think I fold.
2 and 1.
I'm mixing 70% call.
I was gonna mix like 40% call.
Oh, you guys are on the fence. All right.
Let's call.
take it.
It's suited. Oh, okay. 100%
It's
take it
suited.
out.
Suited.
Okay. Wow.
How much was the
congratulations.
call?
100%.
Okay.
But I mean, it's bottom of the barrel for your EV. Okay, they cut a king high board. We're definitely checking from out of position.
At 40 bigs, you can call like everything.
I just scam ace king. Good.
3-bet pot and our opponent checks back. The flush completes.
I think we're gonna have to, we'd have to have a spade. Well, we wouldn't have a spade. I think we just check.
The
Even though he's
check
gonna bet
fold.
at a high, yeah, even though he's gonna bet at a high frequency.
Board is king, queen, nine. We'll have so many better pairs. We'll have straights. We'll have flushes. This is, oh, damn it. Wow, this is awkward.
It's awkward.
All right. Do we try and induce? Or is
We
this a
wanna go a
spot?
third here.
Is this a spot where my friend Viv once told me I go for unexpected value?
I don't think we really want to induce. Like, this isn't a hand we want to induce with. Like, it's kind of terrifying if he raises.
Oh, did
Yeah.
I say unexpected value?
Yep.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
you mean
there's-
when
there's a
it's
straight and a
something
flush
that
on
it's like
board,
you're
so-
not even supposed to have this hand. What the fuck? And then when they call, and then they like, ooh, what the heck is this?
Okay.
Like, he could still have kings or queens at some frequency. Like,
Double check back. Last
Yeah.
act. I don't know if I'd be really surprised to see king, king or queen, queen.
We'll
Maybe
take a
we
look
don't
at the
even go
range.
for value. Maybe it's a check call.
Oh,
You guys are.
I'm always
you guys are-
betting a third here, I think, but I don't know if that's right.
I would go bigger.
I like big, but I think I'm greedy. I mean, I don't know. I think you might go smaller with some. What was the action? Check, 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 check. Oh yeah, if it's check, 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 and you
I
bet
think it's like
small,
13 or all in.
Whoa.
you're supposed to have some trappy kind of hands, but I think we want to trappy with like flushes or both more than this hand.
So he's never
You'll
slow playing.
Maybe not all in,
straight
actually.
Or a flush.
I
You-
mean,
you
you'll still
shouldn't-
have,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Nick.
I'm gonna say, we'll still have straights and flushes in our range here. Like,
Okay.
we're not that high in our range.
Yeah, yeah,
He,
yeah.
he has it too, right?
No, we do go for
Yeah, we
value.
just
Yeah,
go
just 13.
big,
We're
like you
spot on.
said,
Yeah, it's not-
If you have
unexpected
a flush, we're
value.
all in here, right?
we'll take a look. Because this is an interesting spot.
Yeah, you've got the
check,
masses
check, check,
excited
check
about this
line is
hand.
interesting, and they are supposed to double check back some strong hands too, I think.
Yes. So
What
there
was the
is.
sizing? Was that like 80%?
It's
So
like
yeah,
13 out of 16, yeah.
our
Yeah.
kings are going for the value size that you wanted. And trips are going 83% or half pot. Straights are protecting our top pair. And then the flush is also in there with that small size and occasionally a medium size. It really wants to go big with trips as
That's so
I guess,
interesting.
blocking the full house.
Yeah. Also, are we always going for value with our quads? Cause we're unblocking his calls, but our full house slow plays sometimes because we are blocking his value.
Yeah, we do check back flushes and full houses here.
But quads are always value betting because it's unblocking his value.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because yeah, he can have both the flush and the straight here.
yeah,
So he can raise us when we have quads,
gotcha. Thanks.
right? So, Yeah, it protects your range with flush and full house. And doesn't protect, straight always goes for value. Trips almost always go for value. Yeah, good spot.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, fold.
savage.
Can't call.
Call.
Can call.
Zero EV call. In
Let's call.
reality,
This is,
in
in
game,
reality, this is always a fold.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
fold.
mean, sometimes your opponent has a worse 9 here, but every other time they have the straight of the flush.
Interesting to see what he shows
And
up with.
full house. Yeah, he
Told
flush.
you, I told you he has kings in range. I
Okay,
felt
yeah,
it in
we
my
gotta,
bones.
I forgot about Grinder's comment. We gotta check how frequently he's here with kings and queens, because yeah.
Yeah, check, 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 check.
Nick warned us about this tricky solver, but okay, so how often is he here with kings and queens? Go to range height. Not with queens very often, but he is here with kings sometimes. Never with the king of spades,
Hmm,
because the spades is too prominent a part of the strategy earlier on. But yeah, when he doesn't have the king of spades, he's here a quarter of the time.
So
but king
one
of spades is
combo
on the
kings.
board.
No, three combos.
Oh, 3 combos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, there's only one king on the board,
Pretty savage. Look at this guy. All right, thank goodness we got away from that. King 7. What do I have this in here for? Looks like a rancid animal. All right, do 1 or 2 more here. Oh, another lovely flush draw board.
So yeah, I think this is a good check raise candidate.
I don't think we're gonna do a lot of check raising here. I think we're primarily check calling.
We saw that earlier with the 96 on that the combo one where it had some straight interaction.
Yeah,
Okay. Flush completes.
So I think we go B83.
83.
What? I think 83 is too large. I'm mixing check, bet 50% and bet a third.
Okay.
I'll do
Yeah.
like 40% check, 20% small, and then 40% bet a half.
Yeah. So he shouldn't have like a lot of kings here. He's gonna have a few, but not very many. He's gonna have some ace high flush draws.
Yeah, I like getting value from the ace high flush draws.
So yeah, there is a bit of polarizing here big
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
before the river card. So there are some river cards that really shut us down. King shuts us down, jack shuts us down, deuce shuts us down, spade shuts us down. So it's going for value while the get is good. But just betting this line is the right move. So this is a good card. Gives him some
Yeah.
2 pairs to call with. We want to bluff. How big would we bluff here? I would be bluffing this size a lot.
12. Yeah.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Having that size there.
Wow. I'm surprised at that.
Small.
Why is it checking so much? Is it checking doing deuce?
Yeah, checking to protect the checking range because you rivered up a pair, so like full houses are less likely to this hand we can easily check jam with.
Yeah, we're blocking the full house now, so. Right, if
Okay.
this
Wanna let him
is,
bet queen 10.
yeah. If
Or
this
bluff.
is yeah, if this is a 10 instead, we don't block the full house, it's gonna bet bigger.
If he has the ace of spades, he's always betting here. We check.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, he just stops the turkey.
Let's see, yeah,
If
ace of
king-
spades. Show
if
us the ace
king-
of spades.
Just kings again.
Uh,
He's a big
Oh,
fan
we
of
got it.
Motorhead.
Ace of a spade.
Pretty
Sorry, I just
reasonable
aged
go for
myself
it.
with that joke.
Oops.
Suit nines, Pete. I'm getting too
Suit
laggy.
Too like, it's funny, I was doing some database work today. And then I was watching some of BFiz's work from BBZ, and yeah, like
You what?
I'm
Just
too
kidding.
loose. I'm too loose. Or I'm sorry,
and me
too
both.
tight. So
Oh, I love
got work to
Beefus.
do.
I resubscribed to Fraz's thing just because Boyvin and Menard.
Okay.
And I
I
haven't.
don't hate leading with this hand. I think it's mostly a check fold, but I think we can bet small sum.
I mean, I get. Oh, I think out of position we want to have equity when we lead, right? Or is this like a one and
think-
done, like a fuck you and you better fold, and if you don't fold,
I would give
then
up
I'm
here.
giving up. I think this is like our prime give
mean-
up. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
we
Nick's
don't
planning
like to
barrel
put
a
money in
seven.
the pot out of position
Yeah,
when
Oh.
we have nothing, no equity at all. See, this is where old Vivian would just say, I'm betting, and new Vivian would say, this is still our like a prime give up.
So Viv's given up on this pot. Is there anyone else who's not given up on this pot? Is there anyone else who wants to
I've-
punt off some chips?
I think solver
me
gives
too.
up here. No backdoor equity.
I still think it's a low frequency bet,
giving up.
mostly give up.
If it's a low frequency bet, how big are you bluffing here?
Small, like a third.
Really? Flush completed.
Yeah.
Check flop. It's an ace high board.
This seems so bad. Like yeah, 9 high. I
Yeah.
don't feel like a boss. I'm just like, this is a
Yeah,
fold.
it's absolutely terrible. Yeah.
It's we're unblocking 100% of all the good stuff that the button probably has.
Yeah, but that's why, because we have no equity, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
why we get bluffs.
No, I was wrong about the sizing.
Wants
you're
to
checking to
polarize.
you're checking to get Delta 50.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
We've got to-
bottom
we've
hard
got to-
pair.
We have no
Okay,
choice.
now,
we've
now
got
I'm
to
betting
bluff.
4 chips.
Who's
Well,
gonna
like, what
fold
is
for
that,
4
like-
chips?
Overbet,
What,
10.5.
Well, yeah,
Definitely not over betting, but like I can see a stab just to fold
I
out.
don't hate
like
it, Peter.
this.
I'm
Yeah, I
still
like
I
the
checking.
80.
crap.
I'm honestly betting 80% a lot here.
yeah, it's a B77, it feels like.
Just if you
All
say
right.
people are not balanced, fold your
So-
king, you should have bet something.
Why not just jam, you know? Fuck it.
Well, this is 3x. This is enough of a punt.
Do you wanna rebuy?
Yeah, I agree. 3x
No,
should do the trick.
ew. You're betting
was spot
small,
on.
you're just because if they're whatever they're folding for 5, you know, you're not getting so many more folds when you.
Yeah, and that's the right comment, Viv. Like here it is. Right? This is gonna generate the same amount of fold equity as this is here, and the risk is half as much. So yeah. Very good spot to bluff. Oh,
This is where they say like, you bitch, you don't have nothing. What are you thinking that you have something here? Oh my gosh, really? He had king 5? And that
he
makes
did.
sense that he checked. Actually, yeah, he does have more 5s probably doing this.
Yeah,
He's
he
like, oops, sorry, I am the one having 5, not you.
So,
Could you look at our range here?
Um, This spot is still so interesting. The check, and then
Yeah.
the out of position bets the river, and the in position is supposed to like raise for value and probably a bluff too.
Just the river node. Yeah,
have it in.
thanks. Let's see.
So houses, flushes, trips, top pair. And no made.
No
We
made
don't have
hands
any
over.
huge sizing here.
Yeah, it's on.
Trips go pretty big, right? Trips are going these two.
Yeah,
King
right.
5 that we don't have any
very,
hands.
very rarely.
Yeah, it was funny though. We are like the size that we were trying to bluff was representing the hand that we wanted to say we had, which was a 5.
Yeah,
So
Can
if
you
you're going
also-
this,
Sorry, finish your thought.
yeah, if we are going this size with this portion of the value and we're representing a 5, then we pick the right size that our value would go. So then I would bluff the same size. So, yeah, go ahead, Danny.
Can you switch it to a 9 of diamonds and see how that changes things? Very quickly. Do we then get some like even bigger sizings? Not really.
no,
Alright,
no, actually, yeah, it's outbound.
Yeah, it flattens it out now. 'Cause I guess the 9. Guess we're here with some more.
I swear
nines.
sometimes in
Get some more
spots like
nines.
this, you do see some like 2x, 3x river stuff, but maybe
Yeah.
it's not the right run out. Maybe it's more like imposition versus triple check. I don't know. Anyway,
Either way, good little session looking at the interaction. So this is the back half of that interaction. So next week we'll be back with more for a new spot on interaction. We'll take a look at the 3-bet mode for the button and cutoff for the next week. We'll probably play both sides in 3-bet pots next. All right, thanks for checking this out. If you guys like this, you can find more of this type of content on YouTube. And you could also reach out for coaching from myself, Nick, Louis, Philippe, and a few others who are all around for more additional content for making your poker game better. So thanks for checking in.